Part of knowing how to study is figuring out what to study. Okay, so how do I figure out what to study? The answer depends on why you're studying. If you're studying just to earn a grade, what you're really asking is what will be on the next exam. If you're studying because you want to learn the content, then what you're really asking is what do I want to know? Most exam questions focus on the most important ideas, which is what you probably want to know anyway. So the two aren't necessarily that different after all. There's often quite a bit of overlap between what will be on the exam and what you'll want to know in the future. In most college classes, you have two basic sources of information, readings and lectures. When figuring out what to study from the readings, most textbooks provide some pretty clear clues. First, look for keywords. Keywords are key. Learn them, not just the words, but the definitions. They're usually in bold. They're usually in the outer margins of each page. If you memorize the keywords and their definitions, you're well on your way to learning the material. In some cases, textbooks don't have keywords. When keywords aren't provided for you, use your highlighter or the highlighter function in a PDF or e-text to identify keywords or concepts on your own. Doing this will help you focus because you aren't just running your eyes over paragraph after paragraph because someone told you to read the chapter. You're reading with a purpose. You're reading like you're on a mission rather than wandering around. And your purpose is to identify keywords and important concepts in the chapter or the article that you're reading so that you can go back and master those concepts later. Second, look for lists. The 5 aspects of this, the 4 steps in this sequence, the 7 levels of this taxonomy. Why focus on lists? Well, think of the test from the professor's perspective. When they're creating the test, they're looking for information that is objective so that they can create multiple choice or true-false questions that have one correct answer. Lists are great sources for questions. Like, which of the following is not one of the 4 steps in this process? Which of the following is the first step in the process? And so on. Seriously, look for and memorize every list that you see in every chapter. Third, look for superlatives, the highest and lowest of this and that, the newest or oldest of those, the top ranked this or that. Superlatives are another great source of objective questions, and they will help you focus on important information. Essentially, when preparing for exams that are mostly multiple choice and true-false questions, you want to look for information that is objective and clear, where there's a correct answer. It's much easier to write multiple choice or true-false questions when there is a clear distinction between what is true and false. Next, when figuring out what to focus on from class lectures, pay attention to the cues that the instructor provides. Don't just listen to their words, listen to their voice. And don't just listen to their voice, listen to their tone and volume of their voice, how the pitch of their voice changes. People usually speak more loudly and sometimes in a higher pitch when they get excited about something or feel especially confident in what they're saying, or think that what they're saying is especially important. Pay attention to what they seem most sure of and what they consider most important. When your instructor is writing exam questions, they're most likely to include questions that assess your understanding of concepts they consider important. When the instructor becomes more excited, more emphatic, more adamant in what they're saying, that probably means that they're saying something that's important to them or something that they think should be important to you. Lastly, pay attention to content that professors cover in class that's also covered in the textbook or reading. Think of a Venn diagram with one circle representing what is covered in lectures and another circle representing what is covered in the readings. I think you'll find that most of the exam questions come from the overlap between material covered in lectures and in the textbook or articles that you're assigned to read. But always remember, your job is to learn the material, not just earn a grade. When you're figuring out what to study, you may be interested in determining what will be on the quiz or the exam, but it's even more important to consider what information you want to remember long after the quarter or the semester. Study what you want to remember.